Can you be a man with a uterus?
Yes.
I
didn't want to have a male, or the person who contributes the sperm, okay? A biological male.
Contributes the sperm? So, we're no longer... No, see,
Hi everyone, welcome back to Unpopular Opinion. I'm Alberto, it's late afternoon here in Italy, and today I wanted to take a break from the fully political direction that this channel took in the recent month, even because I literally came from reacting to random videos to make a full analysis of political situations, and I wanted to take a break from this and do some more some lighter videos. And today we're gonna react to some interviews and speeches of Charlie Kirk, since recently I was thinking of him and how he lost his freedom of speech because of someone that was disagreeing with him. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to support my channel, and let's begin.
Hey Charlie, okay, I have a real quick question, just a little bit of preface. I'm going to get straight to the point, but I need to start with the first question. You love the Bible, correct?
it's the word of God.
Exactly, okay, perfect.
Just for you to know, I'm mostly an atheist. I think that a God can exist, but I'm not a big supporter of the Bible, but I respect
Perfect, yes, exactly.
whoever
So
does it.
I'm just here not necessarily to debate, but more to understand your line of reasoning. I want to understand how, when you practice and preach religious governance and issues like that, as with your abortion and status on gay marriage, why don't you also support things like free lunches for kids? The Bible over 2,000 times mentions it, helping the needy at every instance, and that if you don't help the needy, you are not.
Okay, this debate is about helping people in need, that are the poor or who has been unlucky in the life, not supported by the family, and so on.
Will not help you.
Yeah, great. Did I mention the Bible once in my abortion argument earlier?
Okay, I don't know. I'm just
No,
thinking
you
of
didn't. I just want to be clear, though. But
I'm just thinking of what I've heard before. Sorry.
No, but I do believe it's the word of God. Of course we should help the needy. Can you show me a specific verse where it says make sure you pay a bunch of money to the government in taxes to help the needy?
I was.
Yeah, the Bible has never been that specific, and this is also true. Helping people that are in need doesn't necessarily means helping people through the government, through the taxes, even because, sometimes it just doesn't happen. The politicians are taking the money and they are wasting them. They are not only stealing them, that this is another problem, but this is the corruption. But they are, wasting money, and this is the problem about government. And that's why, according to liberals, and I'm not saying that I'm a liberal, I will never share my political views here on this channel, but liberals think that if you let the market be free and do its own stuff, then at some point the economics, the country will find its own balance, and I cannot say that no one will be poor or no one will be unlucky, needy, but you will reduce drastically until the minimum, the range of, the percentage of people that are poor, in need, and so on.
So specifically, that I think as Christians, it should be the number one priority to find a system that works to make sure that every single person is fed. And I think it truly, if we're looking at the Word of God, you have to look at the fact that you.
This is true. Of course, the word of Jesus was pursuing this kind of achievement, but at the same time is unrealistic from an economical perspective, because we saw that socialism and communism often don't work, and they bring the society to a downgrade, and they destabilize the system, and at that point it's everything ruined. Okay, that's why we chose capitalism in most of the high growth countries, because this is the only way that makes the progress possible, and with the progress you can pay the food for the poor.
You should go through every cost yourself, as the Bible specifically says. I can pull up a verse on my phone right now that says specifically in the Bible that you should feed the needy at the cost yourself. You should help those in needy at cost yourself. If it's a couple pennies out of my tax dollars to feed those don't have food, I think that's a Christian obligation of the government to fulfill.
But no, that again, It's
I mean, yes or not, like, okay, then you have to think about why those people are in need, like what happened. It's because of their bad decisions, or just because, you know, they have been so unlucky with the world, with the life, that they deserve that. Because I can argue on that. I can object. Okay, if you had the same chances of me in my life, but you took the bad way, you decided to be lazy and do nothing, then why should I help you with being fed? Okay, you cannot make other people responsible for your bad
never
decisions.
biblically obligated to use the state to do that.
Okay,
The
but
church
then
should do that.
okay, perfect.
And that's so I personally give a fair amount of my tithes and my donations to local churches to help do these things, and I hope everybody else does that as well.
Okay.
And in fact, I
This kind
believe
of gets
you.
to the meat of my question. If I could get more to the meat of the question, then. So why do you think there should be some policies that should be governed at the state level, but then not other policies when it's sort of governed like this, when it's specifically over 2,000 times in the Bible?
I mean, we should, of course, decide what the state should focus on. We live in countries where the state has a role, has an economic role also, okay? But at the same time, you have to choose the areas where the state should be forbidden, because otherwise, as I said, we just live in a communist country where everything is centralized and decided from the nucleus, and no one is free to run his own business. And run a business, it's not a business, it's not something bad. I mean, it means that you are free to bring your own idea. If I want to make chocolate biscuit with chocolates for my entire life, I am allowed to do that in my way, with my decision, with my means. And this is something that is incredible about capitalism, that these kind of people don't understand. Then when you have money, you can start to spread your welfare and give enough resources to who has been unlucky, and help them to find their own way, to make better decision, and to create a little world themselves. But you cannot just, if you take your money and you just give them to the poor people, then we're gonna remain, everyone will be on that level. Okay, people think that if you redistribute the resources, then everyone will be in a mid state. It's not true. Like, if we if we take the money from not the rich, but from the entrepreneurs, and we give them to the people in need, then we will have only people in need. Okay, there is no Elon Musk. Okay, and people say, okay, we have to take money from Elon Musk, when in a society where everything is given to the poor, there is just no Elon Musk. He doesn't exist.
Right. Wait, so just to be clear, were you once a parasite?
Technically, yeah.
You think babies are parasites?
Fetuses.
Right, but a fetus literally is just a word for a human being. It's a stage of
Before
development.
it's born.
Right, but have you ever been to a fetus shower? Why do they call it a baby shower, not a fetus shower?
Well, yes, it's a
I think it's a little extreme, this idea, because, of course, when you are in favor of abortion, you want to see at the baby as a fetus. While when you are in contrast to the abortion, or contrary to the abortion, then you want to see at the fetus as a baby. It just depends. I mean, we don't know exactly when, according to the science, the fetus became a baby. I mean, we know according to the science, but of course we can never know when that thing become able to think and to be alive. We don't know exactly, so it's just about us and our opinions. But of course, it's convenient, both for Charlie Kirk and this girl to
baby, but
to
it
refer
depends
to
on
the
what the
same
mother
baby.
Oh, so it is a
with
baby, not a fetus. Got it. So, but if it's a baby, then shouldn't we not kill babies? Pretty simple moral principle.
It's different when it's inside the mother's
Why?
body. Because it depends on what the mother wants, what the parents want. If they don't want to have
It's
that
a
kid,
tap.
I mean, what the parents want. No, just what the mother wants. This is another quite hypocrite. I mean, you got it. Like, I agree that, of course, it's the woman that is gonna be through, I mean, sometimes a hell of pain and, you know, even of the management of the fetus and so on. But at the same time, I mean, it has never been a decision of the man, I mean, at least in the current society in America right now. So, I mean, it's the woman deciding because they can do whatever they want with their body. But at the same time, I mean, you can even decide to just have the baby.
Or an
It's
umbilical
not
cord,
the
but how is
worst
it any
thing
morally
ever.
different than when it's right outside of the womb? That baby can't hunt or gather, it can't go get a job, it can't go to the grocery store. It's wholly dependent on external forces to survive.
But that's not the same as like needing to be inside the mother to survive.
But why is that any morally different? Just because you're attached to an umbilical cord, why is it any different? Why is that less of a human being? And by the way, there are babies right now, as I mentioned, that need pacemakers and ventilators. Are they not human beings? So they need a lot of machines to survive? They're attached to other machines. Are they not humans?
Yeah, but I think that like the mother doesn't have a choice. You know, it is like making the baby, like giving it nutrients and everything.
Let's try to find. So you would say that you want the mom.
It's like, you know, I'm not necessarily against abortion, but at the same time I don't understand all these reasons why they are you know, they are in favor of sorry, wait, what I said, I'm not necessarily in favor. Okay, I don't know what I am. In any case, you know, like okay, but it's still something. Okay, if you think that you know, at a far stage of the pregnancy, where when at some point is too late, you still think that fetus or baby will ruin your life, I mean, I'm no one to stop you. But at the same time, you cannot just, I mean, in Italy we say wash your hands and pretend that it's nothing, because, I mean, it's almost a life. Then we can argue if it's a full life, or a half life, but still, okay, there is something there, and you should not feel that free to take that decision. Like if, you know, it's just a whip, okay, you decide what's the best. Now, ponder on this. Then, if you really think that you will ruin your life and you will ruin the life to the baby, then, I mean, okay, we can agree on this.
Can you be a man with a uterus?
Yes.
Bad
I
starting.
didn't want to have the gender discussion with
This
you.
is what they teach here, guys. I'm telling you.
I didn't want to have the gender versus sex discussion.
Well,
I wanted
you brought
to
it
have a
upon
discussion
yourself.
about
That's
abortion.
fine. Okay, what is your contention?
Okay, so basically, why is it that people with uteruses have to carry all the responsibilities?
People with the uterus, because it's not woman anymore. Think that this kind of speech like 10 years ago would have been so weird, but now it's completely okay. You can say that men can have a uterus, and like it's normal, like if it's science based, when it's not.
That come with having a pregnancy. Because this is true, but he just said you have to be responsible for
hold on.
your own orgasm.
The law is very clear that if the father abandons, they own child support. So that's actually not clear.
Okay,
it's
but a
actually
lot
not
of the time
case.
it's like, you know, there's like one night stands, there's the cases of like
Then
you just
stop
get
having
knocked up.
one night stands.
I mean, this is convenient for his image of, you know, ultra Catholic. While I mean, this is not
you
the
don't have to
point.
have sex. It's not like a
You
thing you need
said
to
you
do.
had sex, and now you have to live with the consequences.
Yes.
So both people should have to live with the
Yes,
consequences.
and here I am with this radical idea that all of humanity embraced for like 2,000 years, which the best way to live is to get married and then have sex.
But
I know
that
it's
is not
against
the reality of
I
our
know
society at this time, and we all know this.
Well, exactly. But what is there anything stopping you from doing that?
No.
Self-control is a
but I'm
virtue
saying
that every kid should re-embrace.
Still happens
No, of course.
outside of marriages.
Yes,
And you were saying that.
I mean, I agree that in our society there is. I mean, why should we keep talking about, you know, if you do one night stands or not, when it's completely normal? And this is not a reason why you should decide if keeping a baby or not. Just use protection and everything will be fine.
Because you have to be responsible for your own orgasms. Does that not mean that a male or the person who contributes the sperm, okay, a biological male,
Contributes the sperm. So we're no longer. No, see,
Guys, we are in a crazy world.
she said male.
I saw a clip somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd.
Now I want to
Can
go
you
back
be a man
to
with
see what
responsibilities
happened
just
there.
because they are not married. Have to contribute just as much to a female's pregnancy if she is going to carry
Fair,
said thing.
fair. Let me hold you to that standard
To a
then. Time
female
out.
pregnancy.
Therefore,
It's like a deal,
if a woman is going to have
contract.
an abortion, is it 50% the man's decision?
If we hold males to this responsibility, I believe that they should, like, you know, at least be able to, like,
It's
have
true.
a say.
It's true.
But that
How
is
big of a
my
say? Like
personal
10%
opinion.
or 20%?
In the end, it is a
Yeah, but like, you know, saying that it's a half decision and then it's the woman actually deciding. I mean,
female's
it's just,
body, and they have the right to decide
sense.
what they do with their body.
Okay, but to
See,
just,
they'd have to
just to,
decide what to
just
do
to
with
play
their
that
body.
out, if the
So what's the
baby
responsibility of a boy? Of a man. I mean, they have just to deal with the decision. They cannot do anything. And I agree with this, but not with the mindset behind this. Okay.
I saw a
Let's
clip
move.
somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know
Yes,
what your
ma'am.
reasoning was about that.
well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck. And we
Yeah.
all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use. Do you know that George Floyd?
Okay, since this is a neutral channel, I have to tell you that I actually checked, and the technique used by the police against George Floyd is not taught in the Academy of Police. So this is not true. This was convenient for Charlie Kirk, of course, but it's not true. Then about how much the drug overdose played a role in what happened. This is subject to debate, but this was not a technique approved from the police.
You don't seem to be for raising taxes on billionaires.
Of course not. Why would I?
So if you want to legislate morality, I want to curb the sin of greed.
But so you want to curb the sin of greed
So
by taking other people's stuff? That's pretty greedy of you.
No, it is not. There's not.
Yeah, it's greedy, if you want stuff from people that are greedy as you.
Just to be clear,
the data shows is that
raising
the
taxes.
past 40 years, the wealth in this country, the wealth inequality
Yes.
has increased, which is the top 1% has
Yes.
grabbed the wealth of the
Totally.
majority bottom.
There are reasons why that.
So they grabbed. Okay, they grabbed. They grabbed what? Okay, rich people got what people were, available. Sorry, they were free to decide to pay to them. If you buy an iPhone, then you cannot complain that the guy that produced the iPhone is rich. If you buy a stock of Tesla, you cannot complain that Elon Musk became rich thanks to the stocks. So it's a completely different
That's
view.
happened. But just
Why
so
is
we
that
are
happening?
clear,
Why is that happening?
I'm happy to explain that. Just so we are clear, saying we're going to just raise tax on the billionaires, that statement, you just violated 2 out of the 10 commandments.
That's not true.
Thou shalt not steal and thou shalt not covet.
How
We're going to
is
go
that
take
stealing?
other people's money
How is that?
And the Bible.
stealing.
because it's their money.
We live in a society that is run by taxes. How is that stealing?
Well, taxations are a form of theft, definitionally, because it's not the government's money. It is private property that.
This is a little too extreme. I think that if we want to live in a society, we should pay a fee to be there. Okay, like if it's an hotel. And if you are richer, you should pay more just to contribute more and to reduce this inequality. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that you have to punish the billionaires for just, running their business and having many people available to pay for getting, a piece of the
You
cake.
earn when the government extracts.
I think it's okay to rob a grocery store if you're hungry. I don't think it's okay to rob a bank if you're poor.
Okay.
Do you?
Usually, I do not think it would be okay. But if
Usually.
someone's under extreme circumstances, I can understand why they might make a decision.
This is very bad, because if you justify criminals to be criminals, then you cannot complain about the rest. If we live in a criminal country, and for example in Italy, sometimes I feel that it's quite criminal. And when I see people just justifying this because they say, okay, they live under extreme conditions and they are forced to do this, I understand the logic, but I I mean, criticize the fact that you are legitimating them. Because, you know, if they see this video...
Well, hold on a second. People are not coming to America under extreme circumstances.
Free to do it.
What circumstance that their countries are poor? That's 6 billion of the 7 billion people on this planet. Right?
Yeah.
So that's a right to just walk into somebody else's country?
I'm not saying they should just be able to come here willy-nilly. All right?
But they are, right? And they should be removed and returned to their country of origin, right?
If they can go back there, but that's not always an option.
Well, there's flights every day. Like, you can definitely go back.
I don't mean in terms of transportation. I mean...
I mean, this is also true. Like, people complaining about their own country that just move to America or other countries like that, and then complaining because America is not good enough. Like, what do you want? I mean, you have so many states where you can fly to. So why? I mean, if you live in a country, if you're born and you settle down in a country, then you're justified. But otherwise, just move somewhere else. I want to go away from Italy because I don't like the conditions where you can potentially live here. So what's the matter with you?
Bring up
name one country. El Salvador, it's actually safer than America. Venezuela, it's now safer than America. Why? Because
El Salvador, I wanted to make a video about that because, believe me, there is a crazy situation there. Like, there is a dictatorship, but a dictatorship that is working better than any democratic governments all over the world. So this is something incredible.
they're sending their criminals here. They're opening their prisons and sending the migrants here. That we have a migrant crime wave. I think it's okay to rob.
Okay, thank you for following me. Anyway, sorry if this video was a little lazy, we can say, but I really needed a break and just to, you know, talk a little without studying that much before making a video. And yeah, I'm in a little identity crisis for this channel, like many that I already had. So yeah, I need the time to figure out what I actually want to do, if I want to turn this channel in I don't know, a historical, political one, or if I want just to be, you know, a free environment where we can discuss about stuff. And yes, I hope you had a little fun with me, and see you very, very soon.